Welcome to another deep dive with us today. We're going to be unlocking The Secret of Success.
Ooh.
It's by William Walker Atkinson, and it was published way back in 1908.
Wow, 1908, huh?
I know, right? It's wild how relevant it still is, about achieving success, even after all these years.
It really is. What I find so interesting is how Atkinson doesn't just stay surface level,
Yeah.
with his advice. He really digs deep into all those mental forces behind success.
Yeah, that something within idea he talks about.
Exactly. That thing we all have inside that holds the key to unlocking our potential.
It's like he's saying that we already have what it takes.
We do.
You just have to figure out how to access it.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
And speaking of accessing potential, what did you think about his idea of mental second wind?
Oh, that's a good one. I feel like we've all had those moments where we
right.
push past what we thought we were capable of,
Yeah, like finding an extra burst of energy when you really need it.
Exactly. Like runners hitting that wall and somehow finding the strength to keep going.
Atkinson believes we all have these hidden reserves, these mental and even physical reserves.
You do. We really do.
But we don't tap into them nearly enough.
Most people don't even realize it's there. It's like this untapped superpower.
And he ties this directly to having a crystal clear, definite chief aim.
Oh, definitely.
He's saying that having that one overarching goal, that burning passion,
Right.
is what fuels our drive.
Yeah.
That allows us to access that second wind.
It's so true. It's
Yeah.
like without that clear goal, we're just drifting.
Like a ship without a rudder.
Exactly. But with a definite chief aim, we suddenly have direction and purpose and the energy to persevere.
It makes you really think about what your own definite chief aim might be.
Doesn't it? What's that one thing you're truly passionate about achieving?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a big one.
And this is where I think Atkinson's idea of the I versus the me comes in, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's such
Yeah.
a key part of his philosophy.
He argues that to really be successful, we need to connect with our true selves, the I.
That's the core of our being.
Yeah, that part of us that goes beyond our personality, beyond the me we present to the world.
It's like the me is that mask we wear for everyone else, our public image.
And the I is the real us, the one behind the scenes.
Exactly. The authentic self. And Atkinson believes that a lot of us get so lost in playing a role.
Yeah, we forget who we really are.
We do. And we lose sight of what we truly want.
So how do we even begin to get back to that I,
Yeah.
peel back those layers of persona?
Well, Atkinson talks about cultivating what he calls spiritedness.
Spiritedness, okay.
He even tells this amazing story about Bishop Hugo standing up to King Richard.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that one.
It's a great example of how true strength comes from aligning with your core values.
And having the courage to express them.
Yes, even when you're facing opposition.
So it's not about brute force.
No, not at all.
It's about quiet conviction.
Exactly. It's about knowing yourself, knowing what you stand for.
And having the guts to stand up for it.
That's spiritedness in action.
You know what? I'm starting to see how all these ideas connect,
Yeah.
It's about recognizing our true selves, figuring out our deepest desires,
Yes.
and then pursuing them with that spiritedness.
It's a powerful combination.
Definitely. And speaking of pursuing our desires, what did you make of Atkinson's concept of desire force?
Oh, desire force. That one's a real head trip.
Right.
He's basically saying that desire isn't just some passing whim.
Yeah.
It's this powerful force that can actually shape our reality.
Whoa.
It's like he's comparing it to the law of attraction.
The idea that attracts like.
Yes. Almost like atoms combining to form something new,
Okay, I'm following.
So our desires, when they're focused and intense enough,
Yeah.
can actually attract the things we want.
I'll admit, when I first read about desire force, I was a little skeptical.
I get it. It does sound a bit out there at first.
Yeah. A little woo-woo, maybe.
But the more I thought about it, the more I realized there's something to it.
Like how?
Well, think about it. Have you ever really wanted something? Like really focused on it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And didn't it feel like the universe kind of conspired to help you get it?
You know what? Maybe it did.
Atkinson uses this example of a really successful businessman.
Okay.
Someone who seems to just effortlessly make things happen.
Like he can bend reality to his will.
Exactly. But Atkinson argues that this ability doesn't come from magic.
Where does it come from then?
From intense, focused desire.
So it's not just about wishing for things to appear.
No, it's about having this burning desire that fuels your actions.
I see.
And that somehow draws in the resources and opportunities you need.
So this businessman isn't just dreaming about success.
No way.
He's actively visualizing it, feeling it,
Living it almost.
and taking concrete steps towards it.
Yes. And it's that clarity of vision, that unwavering belief that attracts what he needs to make it real.
And this applies to anything, not just business.
Right. Absolutely. Any area of life.
I'm starting to see how powerful this desire force could be.
It's a game changer when you really harness it.
It makes you think about what you could achieve if you really set your mind to it.
It really does. The possibilities are endless when you tap into that power.
There's something within.
Exactly. But there's another side to this desire force coin.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
Atkinson talks about the flip side, the crippling effect of fear.
Oh, yeah, fear.
He's basically saying that fear, just like desire, can be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I think we've all experienced that, right? How fear can just stop us in our tracks.
Yeah, it's like we create these mental monsters that paralyze us, prevent us from taking any action.
Exactly. I can think of so many times when I let fear hold me back.
It's easy to do.
Like there's this time when I was offered a promotion at work.
Wow, a promotion.
But I turned it down.
Really? Why?
Because I was terrified of failing.
Oh, I see.
And looking back, I realized I totally let fear get the best of me.
It happens. We give our power away to those imaginary fears.
Exactly.
But the good news is, Atkinson offers a powerful antidote to that fear.
Oh, tell me, what is it?
Mental discipline.
Okay, mental discipline. So like being more mindful of our thoughts.
That's part of it. He really emphasizes the importance of consciously choosing our thoughts.
Makes sense.
Cultivating a positive mindset.
So instead of dwelling on what could go wrong, we should focus on what we want to achieve.
Yes, exactly. And visualize ourselves succeeding.
It's like choosing to water the flowers instead of the weeds in our mental garden.
Right. I love that analogy. It's about weeding out those negative thoughts.
And replacing them with positive ones.
Atkinson even suggests that we reframe those negative thoughts by asking ourselves empowering questions.
Okay, like how?
So instead of saying, what if I fail?
Yeah.
Try asking, how can I make this work?
That's a good one. It's a subtle shift, but I can see how it could make a difference.
It's all about perspective.
And taking control of our inner dialogue.
And choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations.
This reminds me of the importance of surrounding ourselves with positive influences.
Oh, absolutely.
Like having mentors and role models who inspire us and support our growth.
The company we keep can have such a huge impact on our mindset.
Totally. And it's not just about people, it's also about the information we consume, right?
Exactly. Are we feeding our minds with positive, uplifting content?
Or are we constantly bombarding ourselves with negativity?
It's like being mindful of what we allow into our mental space.
It's like being selective about the food we eat.
Exactly.
Reading Atkinson, it's like he's saying that success really does start from within.
He is. It's about our mindset, our beliefs.
Yeah, that's something within.
He reminds us that we have this incredible power inside of us.
Yeah.
And by understanding and harnessing it,
we could achieve amazing things.
But it's not enough to just read about it,
Right.
We have to actually put it into practice.
We have to take action, experiment, be willing to fail, even...
Exactly. It's like Atkinson's giving us the keys to the car,
Okay.
But it's up to us to get behind the wheel and drive.
Choose our destination.
But figuring out that destination, what we truly desire, can be the hardest part.
I know what you mean. It's like, where do we even begin?
Well, according to Atkinson, self-awareness is key.
Okay, self-awareness.
Taking the time to really understand our strengths, our weaknesses, our values, our aspirations.
It's that old saying, right? Know thyself.
Exactly. It's about becoming our own inner explorers.
Mapping out our own internal landscape.
I love that. And, there are tools that can help us do that.
Like what?
Like journaling, meditation, self-reflection.
Those can help us quiet the noise of the world around us.
And tune in to our inner voice, our intuition.
It's about creating space for self-discovery, right?
Yes. Giving ourselves time to connect with our deepest selves.
And uncover those hidden desires
that
are just waiting to be unleashed.
I think that's what makes the secret of success so timeless and relevant,
Yeah, even after all these years.
It's not just about achieving things in the outside world.
It's about aligning our actions with our authentic selves.
Her values, our aspirations.
It's about living a life that feels true and meaningful.
Expressing our unique gifts and talents.
It's a journey worth taking, for sure.
Absolutely. But like any great adventure,
There are going to be challenges.
of course, setbacks, moments of doubt.
It's all part of the process.
Atkinson reminds us that these challenges are actually opportunities.
For growth, for transformation.
Exactly. It's like building muscle,
We have to push ourselves beyond our comfort zone to get stronger.
I like that. And that's where the power of the will comes in.
Willpower.
Atkinson describes the will as this driving force that helps us overcome obstacles, persevere when things get tough.
Like having an inner coach cheering us on.
Yes, reminding us of our capabilities.
Encouraging us to keep going no matter what.
He says we always have the power to choose our response to any situation.
We can let challenges defeat us or use them as fuel for growth.
Powerful, isn't it? It reminds me of that Viktor Frankl quote. Between stimulus and response, there is a space.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom.
It's so true. It all comes down to taking responsibility for our thoughts, our actions, and ultimately our success.
Atkinson's suggesting that we're not just passive passengers on this journey of life.
We're the captains of our own ships.
Steering our own course.
And we have the power to create the life we want.
But it takes effort
Intention.
and a willingness to tap into that something within.
So what are some specific things we can do? Like, what are some techniques Atkinson recommends for cultivating that something within?
Well, he talks a lot about the power of mental imagery and visualization.
Oh, visualization, yeah.
Creating clear mental pictures of our desired outcomes.
It's like building a mental blueprint for success.
And he's not talking about passive daydreaming.
It's more active than that.
Much more. It's about actively engaging our imagination.
Okay.
Using all our senses to create this vivid and compelling vision of our goals.
So it's not enough to just say, I want to be successful.
No, we have to get specific.
Paint a detailed picture.
What does success look like, feel like, even sound like?
Wow.
And then immerse ourselves in that vision as if it's already happening.
Like we're already living that reality.
Exactly. It's like sending a signal to the universe.
This is what I want, and I'm ready for it.
And Atkinson would say the universe is always listening and responding to our desires.
It's like we're building this powerful engine,
An engine.
Yeah, for success. And each of these principles we've talked about, the desire, the visualization, overcoming fear, they're like the essential parts that make it all run.
That's a great analogy. And it really highlights that success isn't about luck.
It's not about being in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. It's about understanding these principles and actively using them in our lives.
Atkinson even says we're working with universal laws.
Oh, interesting.
Like almost like the laws of physics, but applied to personal growth.
I like that.
So we have this power within us to shape our reality. But it takes effort. It takes intention.
And a willingness to step into that potential, that something within.
Speaking of which, one thing I found really interesting was Atkinson's concept of personal magnetism.
Oh, yes. Personal magnetism.
He suggests it plays a big role in attracting success.
It definitely does. But it's not about manipulation, you know?
Right, not about forcing people to like you.
Exactly. It's about cultivating genuine warmth and enthusiasm that draws people in.
It makes me think about those people who just light up a room when they walk in.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
It's not about their looks or even their accomplishments.
It's their energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how they connect with others.
Atkinson describes it as having this attractive force.
That attractive force.
So it goes beyond just physical appearance.
It's like they have this inner radiance.
That just makes people feel seen, appreciated.
And that creates trust and connection, which is so important for success.
Absolutely.
In any field. So it's not about putting on a fake persona.
No.
It's about cultivating genuine qualities like interest and enthusiasm and warmth.
Being authentically you.
I've even noticed that when I'm genuinely interested in what someone's saying, they seem to respond more positively to me.
It's like a mirror, isn't it? When you show genuine interest, people reflect that back.
Totally. And Atkinson really stresses the importance of being a good listener.
Oh, absolutely. Active listening is so crucial.
Asking thoughtful questions.
Showing that you truly care.
He even tells this story of Thomas Carlyle.
Oh, the grumpy one.
Yeah. He was known for being kind of a curmudgeon.
What happened?
Well, Atkinson says Carlyle was completely charmed by someone who simply listened to him.
Really? Just listened?
Just listened attentively. It's amazing how powerful that can be.
It is. We often underestimate the impact of truly listening to someone.
Making them feel heard.
It creates a bond that goes beyond words.
For sure. And, something else Atkinson talks about is self-control.
Oh, self-control, yes.
especially when it comes to our emotions.
Like keeping a cool head.
He specifically talks about managing anger.
Anger, huh?
He even says that anger is a sign of weakness.
Not strength.
That's interesting.
I know, right? It's kind of counterintuitive.
I've always thought of anger as a powerful emotion.
Me too. But Atkinson argues that uncontrolled anger,
Yeah.
it clouds our judgment, makes us act impulsively.
You can say things you regret.
Exactly. And ultimately, it undermines our credibility and our influence.
Makes sense.
It's like that old saying,
Which one?
anyone can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everyone's power and is not easy.
Wow, that's a mouthful, but it's so true. It's about emotional intelligence.
Being aware of our triggers and choosing how we respond.
Rather than just reacting. And that ties back to what we were talking about before, about self-awareness.
Right. The more we understand ourselves,
The better we can handle difficult situations.
with grace and composure.
It's like being the eye of the storm, staying calm and centered amidst all the chaos.
Love that imagery. And it really speaks to the power of cultivating that something within.
That Atkinson talks about.
It's about developing that inner strength, wisdom, purpose.
That guides us on our path to success. So it's not just about achieving external goals.
No, it's much deeper than that.
It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
Inside out.
This has been such an insightful deep dive into the secret of success.
I agree. I feel like we've only scratched the surface of Atkinson's wisdom.
But it's a good reminder that true success is within reach.
For anyone who's willing to do the work,
And embrace the journey.
it's about tapping into that something within.
That is the power to change our lives.
So, as Atkinson might ask, what is the something within you?
That's longing to be expressed.
And what steps can you take today to unlock its potential?
And create the life you truly desire.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We hope you found it insightful and inspiring.
And remember, the secret to success is already within you.
Just waiting to be discovered.